The alley felt alive. The faint skitter of rats, the drip of a leaking pipe, and the distant muffled sound of sobbing all mixed into a symphony of tension. Evander Vexward slowed his steps, his staff ready in one hand and his senses tuned to the flicker of magic in the air.
"Come out!"
He called, his voice steady.
"I know you're here."
The crying stopped and the air grew thick, oppressive. Then came a voice, low and guttural, like claws dragging over stone.
"Vexward!"
It hissed, stretching his name into a mockery.
"You've come a long way to die tonight."
Evander tightened his grip on his staff, his eyes scanning the shadows.
"Not much of a welcoming committee,"
he said, his tone casual.
"I was expecting a red carpet."
The air rippled and the figure emerged. At first glance, it looked human, tall and wiry, with hollow cheeks and a cruel smirk. But then its edges flickered like smoke, and scales rippled down its arms. Its glowing yellow eyes locked onto Evander with a predator's focus.
"You shouldn't have come, wizard."
It growled, stepping closer.
"This isn't your fight."
Evander shrugged, taking a half step back to put himself between the creature and the faint outline of a small girl crouched by a dumpster.
"See, I've got a problem with people who prey on kids. Doesn't sit right with me."
The creature's smirk widened, revealing sharp, uneven teeth.
"A hero, then?"
It laughed, the sound grating and humorless.
"That's rich. You're not even a real wizard."
Evander smirked, though his heart pounded in his chest.
"I don't need your approval to stop you."
The creature's laugh deepened, its voice echoing unnaturally.
"You think you're a match for me? The council knows what you are, a fraud playing with scraps of real power."
"Funny thing about scraps,
Evander said, his smirk widening.
they're sharp enough to cut."
The creature lunged without warning, moving faster than Evander anticipated. Its claws slashed toward his chest, and he barely raised his staff in time to block the strike. Sparks flew as magic crackled along the wood, the force of the blow sending Evander stumbling back.
"Pathetic."
The creature spat, circling him like a predator.
"This is the great Vexward, the last of a broken line."
Evander steadied himself, shifting his stance.
"You're awfully chatty for someone about to lose."
The creature growled, its claws elongating as it swiped again. Evander sidestepped, the claws slicing through the air inches from his face. He countered with a quick thrust of his staff, striking the creature's ribs. It staggered but recovered almost instantly, its flickering form blurring as it lunged again. Evander swung his staff in a wide arc, forcing the creature back.
"You've got one chance to walk away."
He said, his voice firm.
"Take it."
"Walk away."
The creature's laugh turned into a snarl.
"You have no idea what you're up against."
It lunged again, its claws driving straight for Evander's chest. He braced for impact, but instead of pain, there was a metallic clang. The creature froze, its glowing eyes narrowing in confusion.
"What is this?"
It hissed, its claws pressing against the faint glow of the enchanted envelope in Evander's coat pocket. The Vexward crest shimmered, unyielding. Evander didn't hesitate. He slammed the end of his staff into the creature's chest, releasing a pulse of magic. The force sent it flying back into the alley wall with a dull thud. The creature staggered to its feet, its form flickering wildly.
"That envelope."
It rasped, pointing a trembling claw at Evander.
"You don't know what you're carrying."
"Maybe not.
Evander admitted, twirling his staff in his hand.
But I do know you're not getting anywhere near it."
The creature lunged again, its claws aimed at Evander's throat. He ducked, spinning low and driving the tip of his staff into its leg. The creature howled in pain, its body collapsing to one knee. Before it could recover, Evander pulled a glowing vial from his coat and hurled it toward the creature. The vial shattered in midair, releasing a shimmering net of golden light that wrapped around the creature. It thrashed and howled, its flickering form convulsing as the magic seared into it.
"This isn't over, Vexward."
It screamed, its voice breaking into layers of distortion.
"You don't know what you're fighting. They'll come for you. They'll tear you apart."
The net pulsed once, twice, then collapsed inward, reducing the creature to a pile of ash and bone. The alley fell silent. Evander leaned on his staff, his chest heaving. The faint glow of the envelope in his pocket dimmed, leaving nothing but the pristine seal of the Vexward. Crest, untouched, indestructible.
"Still not giving me answers, huh?"
He muttered, pulling it free and holding it up to the dim light.
"What are you hiding?"
A faint familiar sound broke the quiet, soft crying. Evander turned to see the little girl huddled by the dumpster, her stuffed rabbit clutched tightly in her arms. Her wide, tear-streaked eyes watched him warily.
Is it gone?
She whispered, her voice trembling.
Gone.
Evander said softly, crouching in front of her.
You're safe now.
She hesitated, then rushed forward, wrapping her arms around his neck. Evander froze, then awkwardly patted her back.
All right, kid.
He said gently, standing and guiding her toward the street.
Let's get you out of here.
But as they walked, the creature's words echoed in his mind. You don't know what you're fighting. As they reached the nearest shelter, Evander glanced back at the dark alley. Something gnawed at him, a deep sense of unease. This wasn't over. Whatever was coming, it was just beginning.